Here's a hard truth for you. I believe that the only thing that stands between where you are now and where you want to go in life is just a bunch of hard work that just needs doing. And as an athlete and psychology student, I am fascinated with how we can shape our thoughts and beliefs to confront this hard work more easily and ultimately build the life we actually want. And I think the mindset I'm going to explore in this video can do just that. Now, I used to believe that what motivated us to do hard work was some kind of reward for our efforts or some kind of validation from the world, but I was wrong. Psychologists have discovered a phenomena known as the over-justification effect, which describes the human tendency to become less intrinsically motivated to do a certain task when we're given an external reward for doing it. The theory is that once you know a reward is coming for doing a certain thing, you then begin to consciously or unconsciously assume that the only reason you're doing it is to receive that reward. And as a consequence, the task, the work, becomes less satisfying in its own right. And from the research evidence and my own personal experiences, I've been led to conclude something quite interesting. The more outcome focused you are, the less satisfying and motivating your work becomes. So the brain won't necessarily crave hard work for some kind of reward, but what about validation? Because we are incredibly social creatures, so why won't impressing others or gaining status drive us to confront hard work? Well, the answer is it does, but it's not an optimal way to approach things. Let me explain. Let's say that this circle represents your competence in life, i.e. how good you are at the things you care about, which comes from doing hard work. The proportion that your circle is shaded in represents how much the world is aware of your competence, i.e. how much people are impressed or respect the things that you do and validate you for it. Now, what we are led to believe, I think, is that what motivates us to work is shading in as much of the circle as physically possible. But I don't think that's necessarily true. Think about it this way. When you get recognized for something you're good at, nothing actually changes, right? Because you already knew you were that good, because funnily enough, you are you. Only the way the world perceives you changes, not how you perceive yourself. And that is the difference between shading in as much of the circle as possible or making your circle bigger by doing the work and actually improving. Ultimately, social validation or praise does definitely make us feel good in the moment because our brains are wired to feed off that kind of feedback. But that is not the same. Praise is not the same as true self-worth, which can only come from inside of you. Now, on a personal note, you might remember a few videos ago where I talked about a junior European championships that I'm working towards this summer. Well, a week or so ago, I was selected to represent the GB men's under 23 team in that tournament. But when I was on the WhatsApp call being told that I was going to be on the plane, I didn't even feel that good. Right? All my friends and family were congratulating me and being so happy for me for this result. And sure, it was a goal of mine I was working towards, but in that moment when I achieved it, I didn't even feel any different. However, I realized that this moment only shaded in just a little bit more of my circle. And I already knew how big my circle was, all right? I already knew that I was good enough to make that team. So apart from just a couple more people in the wheelchair basketball community knowing my name, nothing had actually changed. And so what I believe now, what I believe actually satisfies us and makes our brain crave doing hard work is making the circle bigger. Purely the process of doing the work and actually improving, rather than searching for any external reward or craving for someone to tell you you've done a good job. So I then wondered what might happen if we adopted the mindset that we just do the work for the work's sake, or to put it nicely, adopted the life philosophy that the work is the reward. Because when you finally let go of results or external validation, your work becomes play. Life becomes a dance where you do what you do just for the sole purpose of doing it. There's no real pressure. You just find satisfaction in the action, and your work is no longer just a means to an end. It is a means for its own means. It is a joy in its own right. And although I know that sounds paradoxical, that is the mindset that you need to make your brain crave doing the hard work that just needs doing. You don't need a fancy routine or to use the Pomodoro technique or to trick your brain to be more disciplined if you see what you have to do as a gift. And I actually realised that adopting the work is the reward as a life philosophy not only helps us confront the block of hard work that just needs doing, but also allows us to win the game of life. Because if doing the work rather than any result or validation is the purpose of it all anyway, then you already have everything you could possibly want. Today is good because you enjoy doing the work, and tomorrow will likely be better as a consequence of the work you've just done. So then you literally can't lose. You've won life. And that's why an understanding that the work is the reward not only helps you confront the hard work that builds your life into a better place, but also gives you the meaning and purpose that we are all looking for. So thank you for watching. If you want to continue to discover how you can optimize your own psychology, then why not watch this next video of mine here? And hopefully, I'll see you all over there.